This video is really simple but really important. We're going to show you what we do once we've caught our fish. It's in the net, the process of bringing the fish from the water up to the carp mat, weighing the fish, having your photos done, treating the fish, and then returning it safely back to the water in as good condition as you possibly can. So the first part of that is we make sure we've got everything ready. So we've got our carp care kit, we've got our scales, we've got some water. We tend to get the water as we catch the fish, just so it doesn't warm up in the sun on hot days. And we've got our sling and our mat. Before I lift her over is I'm going to make sure this mat is nice and wet. So I'm going to go with my bucket and get some fresh lake water, not water that's been sitting in the sun all day or anything like that. I'm going to put it in the mat, make it all wet, so when she comes over she feels nice and comfortable. Next thing I'm going to do is zero our sling. To do that, all we're going to do is take our sling over to the water. We're going to get it nice and wet, then we come back over, grab our scales, put them on, and we're just going to zero them. Turn them round to the dial so it's on zero, so we know that we're getting an accurate weight when we're weighing our fish, and we're not faffing about why we've got the fish on trying to zero things, or we're not doing it afterwards, zeroing it and weighing how much the sling weighs. Just going to save time and be the most accurate way of weighing the fish. Rather than try and get the hook out, you see people bending over trying to unhook the fish in the net, I'm just going to simply cut the line, because then it's a quick knot. It's going to take me best part of 30 seconds to reattach it, and it's the safest way. The other option, especially when using things like tubing and that are not so straightforward, when you're bringing the fish over, just put that clutch into free run mode so it's nice and loose, so the line's not going to go tight and cause any damage to that fish. Right, so the line's cut now, so that means all I can do is just get the rod out the way and put it over there out the way. Right, next step, just lift the net up, break the arms. I'm just going to gather that net to the top now, and then I'm going to turn the fish, just checking where she is and where her fins are all the time. I want her fins to be nice and flat against her body. I don't want none of them to fold over on the body of the fish and underneath it and potentially damage them. So I folded that all the way down to an area where I can see. I'll check the fins with my hands, check the hook's not caught in the mesh, and then what I'm going to do is, rather than lift it, you know, sometimes the nets can be weak, have holes in, rip. I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to use the sling. I'm going to place the sling in. I'm going to bring the fish right over the sling, still checking it, last check, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather it all into there, make sure the fins are okay one more time, and then I'm going to take her over to the mat. Right, we've got the fish over, we've unravelled it. Now I'm just going to pop the hook and get the line out of the net so we don't cause any damage to the scales. Popped it out. There you go, we just throw that to one side, out of the way. Transfer the fish over from the net to the sling. Net's out now, we can get rid of that. And then we'll quickly give her away. Keep water going on them as much as you can. If you've got people around, I'm sure they'll help with that side of it. And then time to get your snaps just before you could treat her. 26 pounds. Scales had already been zeroed and stuff, so all sorted, so there's no issues there. Now we're going to get her treated and get her back. But first of all, we take a few photos and admire her beauty. Right, so like I said, once you've done your photos, quick treatment, dab the area dry. We've got a scale here that's lifted. We're just going to treat it, a little bit of treatment, just get that around it, and then a little bit of water with my hand. I'm just going to go over it. So just to seal it, use a little bit of water, and that would just seal it. And then also, always, I see this doesn't happen enough for me, you put a hook in its mouth, treat that hook hold. I'm just going to get a load of treatment into that hook hold, and then we're going to get her back. All right, before you lift her again, check those zips, make sure it's zipped up enough so she can't slide out. And again, always when lifting the fish, wherever, in nets, in slings, check those fins, they're all tucked in, and let's get her back home. Captured an absolutely beautiful carp, now we're going to let her go. Again, key things here, when you're lifting those nets, slings, whatever you're wearing them in, check those fins, because if you don't and they go underneath the fish, they can snap and cause considerable damage. So that's why we're always doing that. And the other thing is, treat those hook holes. Even if the body hasn't any damage, treat the hook holes, guys. I mean, look at that. She's going to go back now treated, and hopefully make someone else very, very happy, like she has made me happy today. What a creature. Why we all do it, eh? Look at fish like this. She is stunning. 26 pounds of stunning scarily mirror. See you again another time.